Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Manchester United agenda for the reaction show for Manchester United hopping Man City off the wall. Right. Okay. Me and Amanda Jimmer, we've been doing reaction shows for a long time, but this is going to be one of the toughest for not only keeping me cool, but getting everybody else in the chat on the panel to keep the cool at the same time. Mr. Amanda Jimmer, you're smiling like a Cheshire cat. How are you feeling, brother?
I'm absolutely delighted. I mean, we just done a watch along. I hope you guys tuned in. And we were sabotaged by a City fan who came on to watch the watch along with us and then destroyed our whole stream. And we had to set up again. But that didn't matter. We went 1-0 down by that defeat, but we climbed back and we won at the end of the day. So this goes out to you, Blue Moon Ian. Up yours. All right. I'm sorry. I'm not using that. I'm overexcited. What a victory. What a win. I can't wait to hear from Tyrone. My man Tyrone is in the house. And Tyrone, you got a different perspective, obviously, because you watched the game not in calmness. I know you're overexcited too. But I'd love to hear how your views on the game. There's so many talking points, so many great things to talk about from this game. It was up there. This is like black belt versus black belt, you know? First Dan. We're probably first Dan now, and we're taking over. This is high technical stuff, guys. High tech business, and I love this game. I love this game. Not copying producer Ebra. This game, the game that we're playing as Man United Football Club, the manager, the character, the mentality, the positioning, the shape. There's so many things to talk about here. And man, over to you, T. I'm too excited.
So we have the main man Tyrone on rocking the black and gold and a little bit of blue today. Yeah. Representing for the old school. What did you make of it, and how are you feeling, buddy?
I'm feeling over the moon. I was just gutted at the end because I thought we could have got the third goal. I wanted my prediction to come through, but apart from that, I'm really delighted. I thought Wan-Bissaka was brilliant. He was really good on the ball. Like when he first came, he looked like he was bad on the ball, but he was really calm and cool, calm and collected today. I thought Fred's performance was brilliant. Like he kept De Bruyne quiet. He actually man-marked him at times. Was really good. Shaw was really good in defence as well. Really good.
So
there's quite a few performances.
I know. And you know what? I'm itching here. I'm listening to you and Amanda talking, and my feet are tapping underneath the desk here, right? I just can't wait to get going. Right. Besides the biggest shock of the day, which was us beating them, what did you just make of the starting lineup, lads? It was not what we all expected. We expected a few changes. We expected to eventually start seeing Erik ten Hag meddling with a team and doing things that we were never going to see or we're never going to expect, should I say. And then all of a sudden we come out, we see Fred starting in midfield, Luke Shaw starting on the left side of centre back, Malacia starting, and Bruno Fernandes out on the right-hand side. Now, Tyrone, what was your first thought when it happened? When you see it, what are you thinking?
Whenever I see Bruno on the right, I don't like it, but I think he does it because he knows that Bruno can play the role quite well and he's quite disciplined. So I think that's why he put him there. I thought the first half we were very unlucky not to go in 1-0 up, to be honest, with Bruno's first chance. I wasn't too disappointed with the lineup, to be honest.
I liked it.
I was slightly worried about Fred, but after the first couple of minutes, Fred showed me that he was going to have a good game.
Now, Monday, Juna, what kind of kahunas does that show you from Erik ten Hag? Not afraid to make changes, multiple changes of that against Man City in our biggest game of the year.
It's not kahunas. It's like confidence. People say there's a hard balance between confidence and arrogance. He's got confidence because it's from achievement. You get confidence from achievement. So he knows what he's achieved over the last few months. He knows his players. So he's got confidence and faith in them to perform a duty for this game, Pacific game, about what we needed to do and what was required. And obviously, you talk about the starting lineup. Wan-Bissaka was there because Dalot was injured. And he's been playing well. And it's not like Wan-Bissaka's come in from the dark and not being seen for ages. He's been playing the last few games. So he's been prepped for that. So he's ready to go. And as Tyrone said, he had a good performance. The main thing there is Shaw as centre-back. That I thought that was like a gasp from me when I first saw the starting lineup. But I thought he would be up against the world's best striker in Haaland. I thought it'd be like they'd be touch tight, physical battle. I thought that might be a problem for him. But it was a more mental battle where Haaland was dropping off the defenders and seeing they were naive enough to go with him to create space. This is how Man City do it. They were looking for openings, probing. As soon as you drop your guard or create a space, or there's a little rotation where there's little space for you to utilize, they will kill you. And we didn't allow that. So fair play to Luke Shaw, not for defending as in tackling, but for reading the game and being disciplined enough. It was a mental battle the whole way through. Malacia, fantastic. You know, with him, as soon as the ball goes out to him, to the wide man, he's there. You get just about control the ball. Who's in your face with his big teeth? It's Malacia. Hi, how you doing? Take me on. That's how he's like. So in midfield, obviously the main thing there was Fred coming in and Bruno going out to the left. Fred coming in for a job. He had a job to do. He was assigned. It's like 007. Your mission is here to mark or sit around the De Bruyne, smell him, you know, be wherever he goes, you go, sort of thing. And that's exactly what he did. And what we had to do, the whole point about this system was to manage the game and stop gaps appearing. Because Man City, as we said earlier, they sit there, they probe, exhaust you, suffocate you with the ball, and they're looking for little openings. They don't want to sort of drive through you, be direct like we were. We were playing 1, 2, 3 touch, third man runs, and we were in on goal. They want to break you down with the goal that they scored eventually, where they outplay you, cross the ball from the byline, and walk the ball virtually in the net. So I think in that respect, the lineup in hindsight was really good. And I just want to say to people as well, Martial done pretty well with his job. His job is to hold up the ball, link up the play. He's done that really well. I know people are disappointed with him, but that's what our next striker we just signed is going to do. And that's what Martial has been doing really well. So I have to appreciate him as well. So that's the lineup. Obviously, the main things there was Shaw left back, Shaw left centre back, and Fred coming into the midfield. And those are the biggest talking points. Sorry, Pat, you'd have to speak up.
Before we get into the opinion on the first half, so what I'd like to do is I'd like to hear a few comments, OMONDI, just to get everybody's direction before we get into our opinions on the first half, if you wouldn't mind, please.
Most certainly. I'm sure everyone's got a lot of things to say, but I want to say one thing about GMS, their global mapping surveys. They are sponsors. They assist architects, property developers, and construction companies all over the country. They offer a wide range of services such as setting out topographical surveys, 3D laser scanning, and monitoring. And check out the link in the description, guys. Obviously, I don't know if you guys joined us in the watch along, but we've got Jeff here. He was there. How you doing, Jeff? He said, we want to win. So much character shown. In the past, we would have given up, and we took it to them. Bill Baggio is here saying we've got to beat Palace, going to the Arsenal match, flying, squeak with a win at Emirates, and 21 is coming. Wow, believe it or not, he said it. Eddie Football Waffle, we love you, Eddie. Big up. Go and check out his channel. If you haven't subscribed to him, you're not. I don't want to know you. If you're part of the agenda, you've got to be part of Eddie Football Waffle. Wow, guys, big up, Cylinder Shock. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm going to just go through, say hello to everybody. Bill Baggio. Who else is here? Jeff as well. I said Jeff. Linville, you were right. He said 2-1, and you were correct. Did you put money on it, Linville? Hopefully he did. You'll be a rich man right now. But we are all rich with pride right now. Mark Edmund, Fred was fantastic. He says right here. Here we go. Getting a big up from Jeff. He's saying big up to Pat, Tyrone, and Monday. Yes, big up, man. Mark Edmund again saying Casemiro, the best midfielder in the league. We asked that question yesterday. Go and check out the show, 10 o'clock last night. And it was inconclusive. But now I think it's conclusive. Ten Hag, school Pepe. I mean, Pep, not Pepe, and got to be over the moon, got to go to bed because he's in Australia, as you know. I want to say hi to Zoe Media House. Rashford, come on, you beauty. We got a column as well. City is red. Love it, love it. Emma as well saying City is full of drivers and divers, sorry, not drivers. At least 3 of them should have had a yellow for diving. And anyone else? Paddy is saying revenge is sweet, most certainly. And he's saying some negative stuff about Martial. I won't go into that. But yeah, big up, guys. And Kay Mbappe as well as in the house. Well, Pep got his pants pulled down. I told you we'll win. Yes. A lot of people said we would win, but I think we're saying it like with hope more than belief. But yeah, we've done it. We've done it.
Right, guys, 11 in the chat. Make sure you give us a like, a follow, and a subscribe. The whole shebang. You know how it works. So, look, the first half, I'd like to get everybody's opinion on what you thought of the first half in the chat, please. Okay, give us something to discuss now in a second. But what I'd like to ask you guys, I'll start with yourself, Tyrone. Right, there was a lot of half chances. We had Bruno coming in, had a shot. The ball just went wide of the post. We had Rashford, lovely ball hit in. Martial for the header. Half chances really had the stomach going, had me jumping off the seat, hurt me. But what stood out for you in the first half?
I think at the beginning of the game, Martial was struggling to get up to speed with the game. But once he was up to speed, I was really impressed with his hold-up play. I thought Rashford was really good on the break as always. I was really worried when he actually went down injured because I thought he might have pulled his groin or something. I think Bruno Fernandes was really worthy of his Man of the Match award. I thought he was everywhere today. I've not seen a player run like that at Old Trafford like that. Like all around the pitch, he was everywhere. So he actually plays like a captain for me.
Captain's
He's just so
performance.
influential. Yeah, definitely. He's brilliant, man. I know a lot of rival fans don't like him because he moans at the refs a lot, but I'm so glad he's a Man United player, not a Liverpool player or one of our rivals players. He had a fantastic game.
No,
Yeah,
all
he
day.
was my standout player for sure.
No, well said, Turn. OMONDI. Now,
Yeah.
one of the inclusions into the team was Fred. What did you make of Fred the first half? Because a lot of people would have been giving out and spitting hairs over it.
Well, I think these days tackling is sort of outlawed out of the game, and I'm exaggerating, obviously, but it's not about tackling; it's about positioning and getting around players and putting them under pressure and not giving them enough time on the ball. And that's what Fred does really well. You talk about things you're supposed to do, Fred. You're supposed to work hard. You're supposed to be busy. You're supposed to be 100%. All players are supposed to do that. But one thing, the qualities of Fred is that he does that. And I think when it comes to the other side of the game, technically, passing, all that kind of thing, there might be a few question marks, but what you cannot fault him on is the work that he does around the pitch to get around players and be buzzing like that. And today he had a job to do, and I think he fulfilled it really well. That was to neutralise them, the key players. Obviously, Rodri brings the ball out of play, so that we neutralised that because suddenly Bernardo Silva was coming deep to get the ball because as he was being there was a cover shadow on Rodri to give him the ball, so Bernardo Silva had to come deep to get it, and then you got De Bruyne, who's fantastic. He makes them tick. We sort of kept a man 5 yards from him, who was Fred, and at all times you expect little rotations to try and drag people out of position, and you think, all right, if De Bruyne, if he was smart, he'd come out to the left wing and see if Fred would come with him, but no, he wouldn't go with him. He would just pass him off. So when you come in my zone, like when you come in my house, like if you're a defender, that's when I'm going to deal with you. So it was really intelligent because what you got to do is neutralise all the gaps that Man City are looking for. They're probing. Last game, we were out of position. We had McTominay going right back to fill in for Dalot, who was ended up in midfield because of the covering players going man for man. But you come in my zone, then I will deal with you. Then I will pick you up. And that's what we've done really well today. We closed down the gaps, closed down opportunities for them. A sign of a good team, like my Sunday football team. But they're not very good, as you know, Pat, not very good man for man. But as a system, we make ourselves very difficult to beat. Last week, we're in the third division. We played a Premiership team who won the league last year. We only lost 4-3 to them because we made ourselves hard to beat by keeping ourselves compact. And that's what Man United did today. And then on the break, we were more dangerous. They hardly created chances in the first half, but we had, like you said, Bruno got played in by Ericsson. He had a shot from the right-hand side of the penalty area, just went wide. That was a good opportunity. Then we had Rashford with 2 good opportunities when he got played in. But this is what I'm saying about third man runs. Into midfield, 1, 2, 3, get played in, and the man's in. It's just like that, you know. And so Rashford, just like that, Tommy Cooper. So Rashford got played a couple of times. Edson made a good save. And obviously, just about the hold-up play with Martial, I thought, as Tyron said, he played really well in that respect. People want to see dynamic stuff being done, but he's doing something for the job for the team. So don't criticize. I would say, before you criticize someone, analyze his game, be qualified to be able to analyze someone's game before we throw pelters and mud at players who are playing for our team and doing their best. You know, unfortunately, he got injured, but this, you know, let's not criticize the guy for that. He's doing well. He's part of a good team here, and he's doing a job, but no one else is qualified to do at Man United Football Club at the moment. Hence why we brought a player in who does the pressing and holds up the ball in Weghorst, and hopefully we'll see how we progress with him. Just to add as well, we compared 2 keepers today. We've got De Gea and Edison. Edison was picking balls out for fun, you know, bringing the ball out very nice and easy. De Gea, as we know, is sort of struggling. He has a couple of good moments where he's kicking the ball, but a bit shaky, and that really restricts us in a way if you really analyze the game. But overall, first half was good. I want to say hi here to JB87. He says Ten Hag is doing something at Man United, a proper manager. I'm seeing his work in the players and the performances. Great comment there. There's so many good comments coming through. But yeah, that's just my brief analysis of the first half.
So, as you were talking about our new signed striker, OMONDI Juma, Martial came off with apparently back spasms in the first half, and with the inclusion of Anthony in the second half, which had us all confused for a while. Who was going to be going where, what position, and it all got mixed around. What do you think of the substitution that was made, Anthony? Tyrone, with Anthony being included into the squad for the second half.
I was happy when he came on. I think he had quite a quiet game, to be honest. I mean, he did play a part in the transitions when he had to like play people in. I'd just like to see him actually take people on a bit more because he's got pace, but it actually looks like he hasn't got the pace because sometimes he doesn't really take people on. He normally just goes back and passes it either backwards or he just prefers to kind of keep possession. I just want to see him run at people more and have a bit more confidence in himself. You know what I mean? Because he's got the pace, but he's playing like he hasn't got it.
What I felt about Anthony was he's like a dog with something in his teeth. He won't give up. In fairness to him, he got stuck into everybody, and he did try his best out on that side where he was, and I think he did make a difference for us in that second half. It gave Bruno a bit more freedom, shall we say, and I think Bruno got revved up for it. So in the second half of Monday, one person who I thought had a very good first half and continued to do it in the second half was Tyrell Malacia. He kept one of my favourite Man City players quiet in Mahrez. So what do you think of the young smiley lad coming in there in the second half and causing them all sorts of trouble?
Yeah, I think, look, what you got to do as a modern day fullback, you got to be in people's face, and that's what he does really well. He's touch tight to guys. So, like I said earlier, as soon as you bring the ball down, you got your face with his teeth in your saying, "Come on, bring it on." And not just that, he's also intelligent enough. Coming from Feyenoord, he's also intelligent enough to know how to pick up the half spaces and play inverted. So when we are playing high up the pitch in the opposition half, you see him a couple of times picking up the ball. You think, is that Fred? No, it's not. It's Malacia, because he's actually cutting in, inverted, playing in that position just outside the half space, central in the midfield, and got good enough touch and composure to sort of turn over the ball and keep it ticking over. And also, not just that, he can add the overlap to it. A couple of times he invited players to give him passing the ball. We overlap in the first half as well when we were breaking. So he's got a lot to his game, and it's just intelligence about doing the job for the team. And these are the three factors I think. So getting close to your marker, as soon as the ball gets shuffled over and they switch to play, he's got energy to get there first and stand someone up, not give enough time to do anything. And then he's also playing in the half space really well, cutting in, being an inverted player, and also doing the overlap as well. And the guy's relentless. He's, like you said about Pitbull Dog, he's someone he's going to risk breaking his legs going in for a challenge. He's there for the cause, and that's only going to lift the fans up and making a fans' favourite. Really, really delighted with him this season. He's been a revelation to me.
So I wasn't looking forward to it, but it had to happen at some stage. That man, Jack Grealish, came onto the pitch. He has all sorts of records against Manchester United. One is for scoring, or always scoring. If anybody can actually tell me what it was, I heard the commentator saying it, but every time he comes on against Manchester United in a derby, he scores. And lo and behold, the ball is slept. I think it was Riyad Mahrez picks up the ball, puts it out to KDB. KDB puts it into the box. Jack Grealish comes in out of nowhere with a flying header, puts it into the back of the net. And I don't know about you, Tyrone, but I felt a little bit slumped. It took the wind out of my sails a little bit, but I knew the game wasn't over. What were you feeling at that minute? Because everything after that, we're starting to build up to the good stuff.
When that goal went in, it wasn't like previous years when I think, oh, okay, they've scored, it's going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 now. I didn't think that. I knew we'd kind of come out in the second half and kind of get back into it. But it took us a long time to do it, though. It took us a long time to get going in that second half. Do you know what I mean? I don't understand why. I always thought we'd get the first goal. I was really shocked when they actually scored before us, to be honest. But
yeah,
I don't know. Yeah,
it was a tough one because
I had no idea why it took us so long.
I felt that City came out in the second half of Monday, and they were bright. They were really bright, and I felt like they wanted it a bit more than us. But what I felt happened was they came out bright. They came at us. They gave us their all. They got their goal, and then all of a sudden, all right, we're not getting a second and third goal here. It's not going our way. Manchester United grew in confidence, and we started turning the tides, and we came back. How did you feel Manchester United grew back into the game after City had their surges, got their goal, but they didn't finish us off?
Look, you have to always respect City. They're 10 years in the making. They're well drilled. Pep's got them as an automatic team. Anyone can come in and play that system. So you expect that there's going to be moments in the game, like in the first half, it was like 15, 20 minutes. They were pressing us back and we were really struggling. So just regarding the goal, a couple of times they like to get to the byline, cut back, walk the ball in the net. That's what they do. They did that prior to that, before they scored the goal. An identical move where the ball was dinked over. And Varane had a couple of crucial headers where he cleared it. And there's one that went to the back post, and Bernardo Silva tried to square it for Foden, and we cleared that as well. So really fortunate in that respect. The next one was done really well, because now this time the ball got switched out to Mahrez. Guess who's in his face? Hi, it's me, Malacia. He's, rather than take him on, he played the ball on the blind side, which De Bruyne made a blind run, and we couldn't pick him up, and he dinked the ball over. And then there was, on the run, was Grealish on the run. So everyone was in shape. Can't really criticise anyone. It's just that Grealish is on the run. He's tapped the ball and scored the goal. So that was really unfortunate at the time. As you said, it took the wind out of ourselves in a way. But because at that point, we hadn't had many chances. In the first half, we had 3 good chances. By this point, 15, 20 minutes into the second half, we hadn't created much chance, because they turned up level 1, level 2. They got levels about them. But we showed character to come back. And there's a risk now. How do we get back in the game? They could just sit back and make it secure. Like boring Arsenal, like George Graham. They go a goal up with that old defence, and that was it, game over. But not this time with us. We still create chances, and then we start. It's sort of momentum swing, isn't it? If you're a defender, even for City, as professional as you are, we've got to secure this win now. So you don't push on so much. You sort of take a little step back. And this is what happened. And luckily for us, we were fortunate enough to get back into the game with the goals. And what goals they were. Are you talking about open people up? Go and review the 3-1 against Arsenal, how we open teams up and score goals, and go and review this one as well. The same thing applies. Trust me. The third goal where Eriksen against Arsenal, where Eriksen ran through and squared it for Rashford. The ball was played on the left-hand side. It was congested there with a little 1-2 third man run, and suddenly Eriksen was played in. The same again today. Casemiro played in Rashford. Went for Bruno, really. The ball was played in. And because they're so high up and they always rely on 2 at the back, they're wide open. They really are vulnerable. But, do you know what I'm saying? We exploited them. So the goal was magnificent. At first, I thought it was offside. Rashford was an offside position. But you notice with Rashford this season, his celebrations like that means I'm wiser than I was before. And that's what he did today. He knew he was offside, didn't touch the ball. Bruno comes in. Bob's your uncle, or whatever it is they say. So that was a great first goal to get back into the game. But at this point, the momentum's with us, don't you think?
Yeah, so basically that's what it was. Jack Grealish scored after 60 minutes, took the wind out of our sails, and it felt like the longest 10 minutes of my life until that man, Garnacho, he came on the 72nd minute. I felt like the tides turned. I think he lifted the crowd because the crowd love him. He's what the Manchester United fans want to see. They want to see him picking up the ball and running at players. Now, not that we're all about that, but that's what gets the Manchester United players on their feet. Now, they love that. So what I want to do is I want to get everybody's opinion on Garnacho coming onto the pitch and how he changed the game. And that will give Omondi Juma a chance to make his way through these comments now. Now, we've 17 people in the chat, so give us a like and a share, please, and a subscribe if you can.
There's a lot of comments. I'm sorry, guys. I can't touch every comment here, but we're going to do what we can here. Revenge is sweet. We touched on that. That's from Paddy. Guys, it's important here. Eddie's the only one who seems to big us up. 17 watching right now. Make sure you press the like button and support the community, which is Manchester United. We're coming down now. Let's go deep into the tactical stuff here. Eddie saying first half, City had all the ball and just contained. United just contained and just had some counter attack. City were poor with possession though, and the half of that was down to Casemiro and Fred covering the defense really well. First half was very disciplined. Totally agree. Ten Hag got the subs right, said Paddy right there. Eddie again saying Fred over Eriksen in holding position, more energy and putting attackers off their play. That's another discussion I'd like to have with you one day, if you don't mind, please. Emma saying as soon as Rashford went to the striker position, we look good again. I want to touch on that point before Tyron does. Zoe saying here, City one shot on target, and that was the goal. There you go. That's really good. Really remember that one shot on target all game. Jeff saying I would have put Garnacho ahead of Anthony. Emma saying Anthony is a player for when we play more possession, based on that he needs to use He needs to use more pace, a lot more. I want to say hi to someone who's with us with the watch along. It's Hell Gone Wheels 87. Sorry I'm late, guys. He said, my throat hurts and my heart is pounding. Great for Rashford to stick it in and unscoring, and great for Garnacho to score in the derby. How are you guys celebrating today? Yeah, it's magnificent. Emma saying, I honestly feel like Malacia had one of his best games against a better opposition. Yeah, you can't really judge against Charlton and people like that. Zoe saying again, I agree, Emma. Do you see Henson Dennis Irwin in Malacia? Yes, he is young, but I see potential to be world class. Massive endorsement there. Rebel saying, great win to contribute to the top 4 race. Come on, United. Well, is it a title race? Who knows? I'm not going to throw it out. Maybe someone else can answer that. Ahmad, how you doing? Deck, he says, we were better from the start, bit disorientated for a bit in the second half, but we got the win. Glory, glory, Man United. He also saying, by the way, Ahmad, welcome to the channel, bro. Welcome. He says, does CALLULA still think we don't need Malacia? Yeah, CALLULA mentioned the other week that we should put him on loan just to get more experience. She was concerned he wasn't getting enough game time. Gundogan comments about players after Southampton looks more justified. He did say they're not up for it in a way. Media tore him apart for those comments. But maybe today, 2 losses in a row for Pep. Maybe Gundogan is correct, or there is something in it. That's from Zoe Media House. Garnacho was class, got back and defended, and was total managed going forward. Again, would have put him ahead of Anthony, says Jeff as well. And final one from me is from Emma. Garnacho's development is definitely going faster than expected. He was really crucial in helping out in the defence today. That's the area that I felt that would be a weakness for him.
So, after 78 minutes, Aaron Wan-Bissaka picks up the ball, plays the ball to Casemiro. Casemiro curls the ball up forward, happens to run around the path of Marcus Rashford, and lo and behold, he doesn't touch the ball. The ball falls to the feet of Bruno Fernandes and bang, into the back of the net. I'm jumping around the front room like I've lost my mind, and I can only imagine the salty tears the Manchester City fans can taste tonight, because they'll be all crying, saying that Marcus Rashford blocked the line of the ball, and they'll be making up all sorts of excuses. But lo and behold, it didn't happen, and the ball stayed in the back of the net, and we got our first goal. Amondi, what did you make of it? Do you think Marcus Rashford meant it, and were you happy with it? Do you think it worked out very well for us?
I did just cover this goal just minutes ago. I think in our excitement, you might have forgot. I did just cover that goal and mentioned it. But yeah, like I said, Rashford's doing that celebration now, which means I've got brains, something he didn't have maybe before running into traffic. His decision-making this season has been fantastic. And that just goes on to prove it with what he did with the goal. Didn't touch it, realised he made his run, and he would have been offside. If he would have touched that ball, it would have been a goal. And he left it for our man Bruno to finish his dinner, which was magnificent. As you said, go and check that goal out compared to one of the goals against Arsenal where we just broke on them like that. Arsenal and Man City got the same ID as, with Arteta. Just to go back to our point, in the second half, Anthony came on, obviously, for Martial. And I think this is what allowed Man City to be a bit more confident playing a higher line. If you're a defender and you've got Martial and Rashford, you're thinking, all right, maybe sit back a bit, be a bit cautious here. But when you've got Anthony, as Ake proved, because they were going run and one, had a leg race, and Ake caught him and ate him up, So I think with Garnacho coming on, then it ended up with Rashford down the middle, Garnacho on the left, and then Anthony on the right. Suddenly, we had options again where we could break, and then the Man City defense had to be a bit wary, So I think that was a bit of a difference about Garnacho coming on. But yeah, the equalising goal was magnificent. It's all about playing that direct pass. Remember when Ralph Rangnick turned up? He said as soon as you turn over the ball, it should be seconds, 10 seconds having a shot on goal, or 1 or 2 passes, and then you have a shot on goal. And that's effective. It might not be, say, a Man City tiki-taka trying to walk through teams that have got low block, but it's an effective way of beating teams. We beat Arsenal that way, and we beat City today the same way. And it's systems win games, and that is all by design. It's not by any luck here, guys. That's what we were looking for. Don't you think, T?
Yeah, but it's just, I think from the beginning, the way we were set up, I could just see that Ten Hag had a plan for the players before they went out there. And you can just see he's a really good tactician. And I think with Ten Hag, because he's actually worked with Pep at Bayern Munich, he knows Pep better than anybody. So that's one of the reasons I wanted him to come to Man United, because he's worked with Pep before. I knew he'd be the one manager who'd be able to actually be able to go toe to toe with him tactically. I think he did brilliant today.
No, very good point. Very good point. Now, in the 82nd minute, Bruno Fernandes. Now, You can tell me what you think. I think this was a bit of a training ground drill that the lads must have been practicing on. Bruno Fernandes picks up the ball, gets it out to Garnacho. Garnacho tries his shot, hits off the Man City defender, drops back to Garnacho. Now, this is a young lad who's coming on. He's the baby of the pitch. Drops his shoulder, fools the whole Manchester City back line, crosses it across the back, and Marcus Rashford in the back of the net. This is the man who could not kick snow off a rope 6 months ago. And now look what he's doing. I tell you, the poor dog, I had to go find the poor dog. I nearly threw the poor dog over the back fence. I was with excitement. Tyrone, what did you make of it? And how good was it? Did you think he meant it? Or was it just excellence?
I think Garnacho, because he's 18, I think he's a player that just plays on instinct. So I think the little bit of skill he did, it was just him thinking quickly. And when he turned the defender and passed it into Rashford, I thought, wow. I was actually glad that Rashford was there, because I think when he actually tried the shot, I don't know what he tried. It was either a pass or a shot, and it hit the defender. It would have been easy for Rashford to throw his arms up in the air and not be in the box, but he was still in the box for the pass afterwards, which is brilliant. And yeah, Garnacho, he's such a good player. But I think for now, I think he's actually better off the bench. He's a good weapon to have off the bench. Yeah, I'm really pleased with him.
I just can't smile. I can't stop smiling thinking about Bruno Fernandes, Marcus Rashford, Garnacho. Yeah. How much they changed the game in the last 10 minutes. OMONDI, are you down yet from that cloud nine, or are you still swinging out of it?
No, I'm still on cloud nine, as in the Temptations cloud nine. I am up there in the sky right now, just buzzing like all of you fans are. And it's been what a wonderful day for the Man United agenda. So many people chipping in. Really do appreciate you guys. There's 22 watching now. Make sure you press the like button for us, guys. It's a community thing. We love you. This third goal now, as we said, we've got a bit more pace and a bit more an outlet in Garnacho on the left. And obviously, there was a bit of concern from my point of view, bringing him on, because I thought the defensive side of the game, he's going to leave that gap for us where they're going to exploit us. But luckily, it didn't really happen. So obviously on the break, I just want to say, before we do, Linville, man, you've been a part of the channel from day one, and only now you become a member. I'm not joking. Guys, you can become a member of the show and of the channel. There's so many perks to this as well. We're doing so many things in the background. We're working hard. Linville, we do appreciate you coming a YouTube member. All you guys as well, just consider it. It's worth it. Trust me. Let Linville tell you next week how worth it is being part of the channel. So big up to Linville for that. Yeah, the ball was broken. Bruno Fernandes again played it wide into the stride of Garnacho. Suddenly, Aki, the centre-back, had to come over to the left-hand side to square up Garnacho. Prior to this, Garnacho had a similar move and he was doubled up on, and nothing came of it. This time around, he had his head up. Obviously, he's right-footed, inverted winger. And he's cut back and tried to dink a ball over, as Pat was saying. Didn't work out. Tyra made a great point. The fox in the box didn't throw his hands up and get peed off. So suddenly the ball comes back to Garnacho. It's like, right, chop suey, inside out, and turn like that, and crossed it across the 6-yard box, which is called the corridor of uncertainty, because they tried to push up. Read like a book by Rashford. He placed it through the keeper's legs, and we were delighted. Honestly, it's really, really special what we're seeing right now. That was a really nice goal. You talk about youth with Garnacho. You talk about someone who's one of our own in Rashford, who's turned it around, who's been through a roller coaster of emotions. Yeah. He's lost his best friend in Lingard. No, joke. Not because of that, but because of other issues that he's had. Being on a downer, and obviously what happened at the Euros, and then being a lot of terrible things happening. People accuse him of stuff and racism and all this kind of thing. So he showed a lot of character to come back, and he's scoring goals. You talk about this celebration. Not only is it with his decision making, but being a fox in the box as well.
Yeah,
and that was really, really a massive goal for us. And then it's not over then, because then you have to sort of say, how do we secure the win? And obviously the manager went on to make some changes to make sure we went home with 3 points.
What I love the most about this victory today, it's not just a 2-1 victory. We have been beaten by this team 6-3 last time. We weren't humiliated in the 6-3 as bad as we were in the 4-1 and the 2-0. But this time around, the manager showed us prowess. He picked the right team. He made the right substitutes. The team went behind. They won from being behind. And not only that, where are we in the league, lads? We are sitting pretty in third place. 18 games. Oh, guess who else has 18 games? All right, Manchester City, 39 points. How many do we have? Oh, 38. Oh, and there's me, Mr. Lawler, saying, oh, we're going to finish 8th this year. If we even stay up in that top 4, I'm happy. I don't know about you guys. Let me know how happy you are in that chat, because we're going to get into the player ratings. And I'd like to get your view on who was the man of the match and who is your player ratings. So, OMONDI Juma, I'm going to start with yourself first. Who was your man of the match? And then we'll do defensive, midfield, strike force in ratings.
I like to do it the other way around, because I want to build up and really talk about the players and the units and that kind of thing. If I give you a man of the match now, I might change my mind by the time I sort of really revise what happened today. But man of the match. Yeah, so is it possible we could do it the other way around?
Yeah, let's go with defense first, and we'll work our way up to the striker. So
okay. Defense as a unit, including De Gea. De Gea didn't really have much to do, but his kicking. This is the issue I have. I'm giving him 5 average. Average for me is 5 because his kicking wasn't on point compared to Ederson, who's showing him up with the distribution. 5 yards, 30 yards, doesn't matter. I'm hitting the man. Defense as a unit, very, very good. The whole team as a unit, defense-wise, very good. I'm giving 8 as a defense for the unit. Wan-Bissaka gets a 7. An 8 for me. I'm generous today. Gets an 8.
Yeah,
just like Malacia. Like I say, Malacia, in your face, inviting you. Are you going to beat me or what? Pass it back. Go back that way. That's what you want to do. And kept it compact. Didn't leave any gaps. 2 centre-backs, magnificent. Ran, clearing headers, things people don't appreciate. You know, getting in dirty, clearing headers, reading the game. Unfortunately, they scored a goal eventually. But if you look prior to that, they tried to probe, but there's no room. It's not about marking Haaland, but they didn't have to mark him. They just denied him the space and the time and interceptions, that kind of thing. Luke Shaw, magnificent. Brown, magnificent. 2 8s. And Malacia, you're going to get an 8 as well. So that's 8, 8, 8 all across the board. The goalkeeper gets a 5. Tyrone, what I know you're going to disagree with me.
No, I'd go with the defense. I think the defense I'd agree with you on. But with De Gea, I think he gets a lot of criticism for his kicking. But I see Ederson kick it in Rose Z as well. Sometimes I see Alisson Becker kick it into Rose Z and make mistakes. I think sometimes we're a bit harsh on him with regards to the kicking. But I do agree that when summertime comes, if we've got the money, we should address a new goalkeeper and bring one in. But I would never say we have to sell De Gea. He's been too loyal and he's been too good for us.
He's the least of our problems there.
I gave him a 5, Tyrone. What are you giving him?
I'm giving him a 6.
Don't worry, I'm about to give him a 7.
I do details. After all that, I thought you were going to say 7 or 8, but yeah, okay, all right.
Okay, so you're back for your 2 wing backs and your centre backs, Tyrone.
I'm going to give Malacia an 8. I'm going to give Wan-Bissaka an 8 just because of how well he did on the ball. And Shaw and Varane, I'll give them an 8 as well. Just because, I don't know, just because they're quite solid and they made quite good interceptions with regards to headers and keeping calm. They kept Haaland quiet. Haaland, should I say? Haaland. They kept Haaland quiet. He didn't score today.
Who's that?
Great. I'm glad
Who's he? Who's that?
I don't know if he might not have been playing today.
No, was he not? No, I don't think he was playing. I think there's some other fella up front. I think it was a mop just stuck in the pitch with a jersey on. Look, I'm of the same opinion, except for I'm giving the whole back 4, including the goalkeeper. Everyone's getting an 8, except for Aaron Wan-Bissaka is getting an 8.5 because he came back from the wilderness. Didn't even know who this man was 6 months ago. And he's coming on that pitch. He's making commanding runs forward. He's just, I feel like a proud father for Aaron Wan-Bissaka because I would have been one of the Manchester United fans who says he's just not pulling his weight and maybe it's time to go. And how he has proved me and many more Manchester United fans wrong. So, OMONDI, let's start with that wonderful midfield.
Before I do, I just want to say here, big up to Farha. He's saying, bro, United don't play football. They just park the bus. We're playing the same game. It's the same game called football. There's different systems. And football, this is why football is the best game in the world. There's different systems to win in the game. And we got to play to your advantage. Play to your players that you have. Play to the shape you have. And play to different systems. Systems wins games. And regardless of that, I don't think that's a naive comment, unfortunately. But, yeah. So I had to respond to that. Just talking about the title, Zoe's Arsenal's title on? Most certainly, yeah. I think it is. Zoe saying man of the match to Casemiro and Fred. Omondi, Maguire's terrible when Shaw starts to centre back instead of him. I can't argue Limble. I lose that argument right now. Casemiro and Fred as a unit, 10 out of 10. Man of the match. We saw Brazilian Casemiro and Fred today. Lovely, Zoe. Lovely. Want to say hi to Cap to or Die. Haven't seen you before, but welcome to the channel. Thanks for supporting the channel as well. I'm going to read out your comment now. He says, Wan-Bissaka taking players on at Walker Place. Had a good game, 7.5. And Wan-Bissaka got a 10 from Zoe. Bran and Shaw as a unit, 9. I can agree with that. And that's from Zoe. And Zoe again saying Malacia a 7 because he did let KDB pass him for the goal. He was on the Brian side. I don't think it's totally his fault. But midfield, yeah, great midfield. Obviously, Fred in midfield today was magnificent. Done his job, which was, if you're doing your job and you're assigned to do something and you do it really well, you get a good score. And I'm going to give him an 8 today because he done what he's supposed to do. As for Casemiro, as the game went on, obviously, look, we were talking yesterday. Go and check out the show yesterday because there's a few fans, especially Spurs fans, saying Casemiro is not very good and all this kind of thing. But what we saw today, as a DM, they say, look, as a DM, these are your criteria, what you should do. You should be able to intercept the ball. You should be able to hold your position. You should be able to recycle the ball and tick it over. You should be able to tackle a little bit. You should be able to marshal the team in a way. He does that all, and he's got character as well to get up the pitch and make decisive passes and get goals as well. So he's an all-round complete player. Casemiro, for me, gets a 9. I know it's a big score, and I've been really watching him. I don't want to get overexcited with him, but today I watched him and I thought, man, this guy is really good, and he gets a 9 from me. So that's the midfield. Obviously, going to go to Bruno, playing out on the right-hand side. Not really familiar with that position, but does it for the team. Worked really hard. He gets an 8 for me, pushing on a 9. Then we've got Rashford in the midfield as well. Eriksen, for me, Eriksen gets a 9. People might say, oh, I can say, because Eriksen gives you something no one else player can do. He's a maestro. For me, he gets a 9. People might think it's overrated, but that's my opinion. I love his game. And then obviously Bruno, Eriksen, Fred, Casemiro, midfield. I'm going to throw in Rashi as well. Rashi, obviously playing out, had to adapt to the middle once Martial came off, and was always a threat. Scored the goal as well. He gets an 8 from me.
Tyrone.
Casemiro, I'm going to give him an 8. I'll give, for the way he played and the fact that he managed to, he might not have kept De Bruyne quiet the whole time, but I like the way he, the work rate he put in. I'll give Fred an 8.5.
Nice.
Eriksen, people might not agree, but I'm going to give Eriksen a 7. I think he's really good on the ball. He's really good with his passes. I just think we suffer a bit defensively sometimes. I think he's not that great defensively.
Do you think that's why he's pushed a little bit further forward today, Tyrone?
Maybe, yeah. Perhaps, yeah. Maybe that's why I turned.
Because you're upsetting the Monday now.
No. No, you know what? We Tyro go way back. Don't try and stir the pot. I know it's Saturday day. Soup's on Saturday. Let's not stir that pot. Me and Tyro won't bump heads on this one. I respect Tyro, and Tyro always is able. You can press him on something, but he will come back and answer and give his proper opinion on it in detail.
Tyrone, before you go any further, I fully agree with what you're saying, because there was a lot of people saying that Eriksen should be dropped for this game, and me and Omondi especially will be looking at you going, what are you talking about, dropping Eriksen for the game like this? But obviously Erik ten Hag sees something in it, and with what you just said, he pushed him forward and played Fred behind him with Casemiro, and look at the difference it made to our team today.
It did, yeah, it made a really big difference. I've been Fred's worst critic, because sometimes he'll pass the ball and it won't go to where it's supposed to go, or sometimes he'll shoot, and I'll say you should stick to what you're good at. You shouldn't shoot. But he didn't really put a foot wrong today. He didn't put a foot wrong, and I think he's actually better in the big games because he's got the tenacity and the athleticism to kind of get in people's faces the way Malacia does. I'll give Bruno a 9. I was really impressed with him today. I just think he plays like a captain.
But you know what? Well done. And I totally agree with you. Fred, Casemiro, superstars in their own making today. They were 8 and an 8. But the 3 lads who stole the show for me today was Marcus Rashford, Christian Eriksen, and Bruno Fernandes. 999. Call the police. The three of them were excellent.
Emergency. City's in
Excellent.
trouble. Arsenal in trouble. Paramedics, please.
Somebody call it. Pep is running around with his arms up in the air, and he realized that in the second half he was worried. That man was worried, and he has to go back to the drawing board for the next time he plays us. So, Amanda, we're after being hit by a lot of comments there, and we have 22 in the chat. Thanks very much, guys, for tuning in, and give us a like. Amanda, before we hit Anthony Martial and the remaining subs who came on as well, can you hit a few of them comments, please?
Brian's Fosket, how you doing? Welcome to the channel. Capital letters. United are back. Get in. You know that, man. You know that. Brian, yes. Welcome to the channel, man. We're buzzing. I hope you're buzzing too. This is great stuff. Abdullah, how you doing, man? He said, Garnacho needs to start over Martial. He's so good. He's like an alien. He's saying, fire, science. And he's also saying, credit to you, man. So big up to this channel. Smash the like button, guys. Abdullah, are you a footballer? Is that you playing there? If you are, bring it on. We love people to share your insight into the game. And thank you for that. Thank you so much for the endorsement. Zoe's saying Anthony and Martial, both free. These players, I'm putting a big question mark about their future. So if you're talking about scorelines, frees are going thrown around by Zoe today, which is really bad. Brian again is saying Wan-Bissaka back to his best. I totally agree with you. He played really well. I want to say hi to Brush. Now, Brush is part of the channel. Brush is buzzing. Get in, no doubt. And he's saying here, what's NGL? I don't know these things here. We're saying that first goal was a violation. He's talking about their
goal. Not
gonna lie. Go on, Tyrone.
Oh, not gonna lie. I hate when people say not gonna lie. Well, what, you're gonna tell them the truth? How often do you tell the truth then? You know, you have to say it. Or, when people say, I'll be honest. So does that mean how often are you honest? You know,
he's making me and Mandy look really old here, which are letters on their own. OMG, because it's like catchphrase for me and Mandy trying to figure out what they are.
No, man, I'm an old man, guys. I'm an old man.
Erling Haaland, who, as Tyrone was saying from Brian, totally. 20 in the chat. Please, guys, press the like button, support the channel. It really helps us a lot. Zoe's saying Eriksen and Bruno both 9. Bruno, I'm always critical, but he was awesome today. That's really nice to see people go back. I was talking about Rashford last season being Trashford, and I have to turn around and say I was wrong. Brian, back 4 today was 9 out of 10. Brian, me and you got talk. We're on the same page, totally. Now, Brush, I really respect Brush's opinion. He's talking about players today. He's got a falling in love with certain guys. That'd be Malacia, Shaw, Casemiro, and Garnacho. And we're going to talk about those two in a couple of seconds. Garnacho and the guys coming on. Rashford gets a 10 for Zone Media House. Garnacho gets a 9. And surprise, Solo's giving Fred a 10-10-10, which is an unheralded score line. But you know Solo loves the guy. Anyway, so we're talking about the guy coming on. Garnacho came on, stretched the pitch, stretched them. Obviously was involved in the goal. Magnificent. For the minutes that he came on, he was a threat. He's a great player. He's on the up. He gets a lot of love these days from the manager. More so than the other young players coming through, because he's a diamond in the rough. And once we sort of polish him up and get him in a couple of years' time, he could be magic. He just needs to, I don't know where, maybe improve on the defensive side of the game. That will come. He can't be restricted there, but otherwise he's a threat all the time. I'm going to give him an 8 because what he did, he came on. He's in good position. It's not like he's coming on running at a low block or running. He was running at a team that's having to chase back at him, and in those positions he's dangerous. So he came on at the right time. Great to the manager. And if I'm scoring the manager, by the way, and anyone else, the other guys came on. Maguire, they've done their job.
Whoa! That young striker, Harry Maguire, who was he? Came on for Marcus Rashford.
Yeah, well, he came back, secured it at the back 4, just putting the numbers there and just closing the gaps for them to play in. So just going to the manager before I'm going to finish up now. The manager gets 10 out of 10. The team performance gets 10 out of 10. The way they organised, the way they set it all up. I'm really pleased by that. And then going back to the comment saying, part the bus. This is naive comments from football fans. Football is a lot deeper, a lot more technical than that. This is black belt versus black belt. And we showed, as we showed against Arsenal early in the season, how to beat these teams up that are probably better than us with the ball. So it's not parking the bus. It's about playing a system which makes it difficult for them. Even like I said, for my Sunday League team, I repeat this again, we play against teams that are much better than us, and we managed to get good results and restrict them and get into the game. What do you want us to lose by trying to match people head to head? No, you've got to play to your strengths a lot of the time. So I am delighted with Ten Hag. I saw a smile on his face today. He was skinny teeth once the final whistle goal went. So, and I hope all you guys were as well. What a game! What a game,
So,
Tyrone.
We're going to wrap it up here now.
Yeah.
But before we wrap it up, I want to get Tyrone's opinion on Anthony and Garnacho. One is a starlet, and two, it seems to be underneath the microscope for a lot of Manchester United fans at the moment.
Yeah, I think Anthony's under the microscope because of his price tag, and that's not his fault.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's not the person who decided to overspend. It was our board. So I don't think fans should be getting on his back. I actually think he's going to come good. I think he'll come good. And I think when we've got like a really good, I'm not slating Martial, but like when we've got like a better striker for Anthony to work with, I think you'll see the best out of him. I think Martial played well. I'm trying to held the ball up well. I don't know if he's lost a bit of pace though, guys. I don't know if the injury was starting to catch up with him because he doesn't really take players on as much as he used to.
See,
Martial.
My heart bleeds for Martial because every time he comes back into fitness, he picks up another injury and he gets set back again. And then he goes through the same cycle of trying to get back fit again. And everybody is too critical of him while he's trying to get fit and match fit. And that sharpness again. And then it happens. We're very lucky that we got Weghorst in. That's how you pronounce the fella's name, because we need him now with Martial picking up that injury. So, Omondi, there's a few comments coming in there. And before we wrap it up, do you want to hit them there? Because I know you were happy about two from Brush and our lady Zoe Media House.
Yeah, most certainly. Brush, always listen to Brush because he knows what he's talking about. But he can be a bit cautious a lot of the time. And I'm going to blow that out of the water today with his second comment. He's saying here first, when he was talking about the goal quality, he's talking about the Man United's first goal, not the City goal. He said, I was referring to the first goal. I know by the letter of the law, Rashford wasn't involved, but how they can say he didn't play a role in it is beyond me. Clever play. Glad it went our way. As Rashford was no clever. He's being very clever these days. I'll be pissed off if he has shoes on the other foot, said Brush. Zoe Media House said, what do you guys think of a B-League for Man United players on the bench, as Brentford do? Go check that out. We've discussed this many times on the show. Hello, Gone Will, saying I was a bit right about Martinez. He came in, put in a shift for squeaky bum time. And Brush again is saying, the guys, this is where I'm saying about complacency and being cautious with Brush. He's on the money, but I don't want to hear this right now. Brush is saying, now it's important to guard against complacency. I know everyone will be looking ahead to Arsenal, but we can't take Palace lightly. We played them on Wednesday, one step at a time. He's saying take baby steps towards that. Ryan said, I don't think Martial was 100% fit. And glory, Man United says.
Akita Olivia, welcome.
Well, thank you. You said it for me. I was going to butcher his name.
But guys, I have to say, it was a great match. It was a great day. But unfortunately, we're going to have to wrap it up.
Oh.
So, Tyrone, where can these beautiful people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at tside2018. That's tside2018.
Guys, and as you heard from listening to Tyrone today, he's knowledgeable and he's going to be back on this agenda again. So make sure you get onto Twitter and give that man a follow. Okay, Omondi Joma, any final words you have, my man?
Yeah, you can call me Omondi Joma if you want. It's Juma, but you're excited.
It's the excitement getting a hold of me.
Andy Tate calls me Omondo, like transformer machine. I don't know. You call me what you want, as long as Man United are winning, and we're delighted at that. And Man United agenda is growing. Thanks to everyone in the comments. You guys have been fantastic. Really enjoyed it. It's a long special, an hour show here. We've done the watch along as well. Go back and watch that. It was great stuff. We were sabotaged by a Man City fan coming on and turning off our show. We started up again, and we won't be beaten. You know, sometimes we won't lay down. We get up and keep fighting, and that's what we did on the agenda and on the pitch at Manchester, at Old Trafford today. Manchester's red, and glory, all the way.
Good night, guys. Glory, Manchester United, and respect.